Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8. Prayers by Queen Kunti, Shloka 47. Aha Raja Dharmasutaschitayan Shrududam Vadham Prakruten Atmana Viprahasnehamohavamsham Gataha. King Yudhishthira, son of Dharma, overwhelmed by the death of his friends, was aggrieved just like a common materialistic man. O sages, thus deluded by affection, he began to speak. King Yudhishthira, though he was not expected to become aggrieved like a common man, became deluded by worldly affection by the will of the Lord, just as Arjuna was apparently deluded. A man who sees knows it well that the living entity is neither the body nor the mind but is transcendental to the material conception of life. The common man thinks of violence and non violence in terms of the body, but that is a kind of delusion. Everyone is duty bound according to one's occupational duties. A Kshatriya is bound to fight for the right cause regardless of the opposite party. In such discharge of duty, one should not be disturbed by annihilation of the material body, which is only an external dress of the living soul. All this was perfectly known to Maharaj Yudhishthira, but by the will of the Lord he became just like a common man, because there was another great idea behind this delusion. The king would be instructed by Bhishma as Arjuna was instructed by the Lord himself. Shlok 48. Aho me pashyata jnanam rudhi rudham duratmanaha parakyasya eva dehasya brahayo ma aksho hi niharta. King Yudhishthira said, O my lord, I am the most sinful man. Just see my heart, which is full of ignorance. This body, which is ultimately meant for others, has killed many phalanxes of men. A solid phalanx of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 109,650 infantry, and 65,600 cavalry is called an Akshohini, and many Akshohinis were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Maharaja Yudhishthir, as the most pious king of the world, takes for himself the responsibility of killing such a huge number of living beings because the battle was fought to reinstate him on the throne. This body is there, after all, meant for others. While there is life in the body, it is meant for the service of others, and when it is dead, it is meant to be eaten up by dogs and jackals or maggots. He is sorry because for such a temporary body, such a huge massacre was committed. Shlok 49. Baladvij shruha mitra pitru bhatra guru druha na me syani rayan moksho rapi varshayuta yutehe. I have killed many boys, brahmanas, well-wishers, friends, parents, preceptors, and brothers. Though I live millions of years, I will not be relieved from the hell that awaits me for all these sins. Whenever there is a war, there is certainly a massacre of many innocent living beings, such as boys, brahmanas, and women, whose killing is considered to be the greatest of sins. They are all innocent creatures, and in all circumstances, killing of them is forbidden in the scriptures. Maharaja Yudhishthir was aware of these mass killings. Similarly, there was friends, parents, and preceptors also on both sides, and all of them were killed. It was simply horrible for him to think of such killing, and therefore he was thinking of residing in hell for millions and billions of years. श्लोक 50 न ऐनो राज्ञः प्रजा भर्तु धर्मयुद्धे वधो द्विषाम् इति मेन तु बोधाय कल्पते शासनं वचः. There is no sin for a king who kills for the right cause, who is engaged in maintaining his citizens, but this injunction is not applicable to me. Maharaja Yudhishthir thought that although he was not actually involved in the administration of the kingdom which was being carried on well by Duryodhana without harm to the citizens, he caused the killing of so many living beings only for his personal gain of the kingdom from the hands of Duryodhana. The killing was committed not in the course of administration but for the sake of self aggrandizement, and as such he thought himself responsible for all the sins. Shlok 51 Strinam madat bandhunam droho yo asaviho stitaha karma bhi gruhame idhi ehana aham kalpo vyapohitum. I have killed my many friends of women, and I have thus caused enmity to such an extent that it is not possible to undo it by material welfare work. The Grahamedis are those whose only business is to perform welfare work for the sake of material prosperity. Such material prosperity is sometimes hampered by sinful activities, and the materialist is sure to commit sin even unintentionally in course of discharging material duties. To get relief from such sinful reactions, the Vedas prescribe several kinds of sacrifices. It is said in the Vedas that by performing the Ashwamedha Yajna, horse sacrification, one can get relief from even Brahmahatya, killing of a Brahman. Yudhishthir Maharaj performed this Ashwamedha Yajna, but he thinks that even by performing such yajanas, it is not possible to get relief from the great sin committed in the war. Either the husband or the brother or even the father or sons go to fight, and when they are killed, a fresh enmity is created, and thus a chain of actions and reactions increases, which is not possible to be counteracted even by thousands of Ashwamedha yajanas. The way of work, karma, is like that it creates one action and another reaction simultaneously, and thus increases the chain of material activities, binding the performer in material bondage. In the Bhagavad Gita, the remedy is suggested that such actions and reactions of the path of work can be checked only when work is done on behalf of the Supreme Lord. The battle of Kurukshetra was actually fought by the will of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, as it is evident from his version, and by his will only Yudhishthira was replaced on the throne of Hastinapura. Therefore, factually, no sin whatsoever touched the Pandavas, who were only the order carriers of the Lord. For others who declared war out of personal interest, the whole responsibility lies on them. श्लोक 52 यथा पंकेन पंकाबः सुरया वा सुराकृतं भूतहत्यां तथ एव एकां न यज्ञे येमाष्टुमहर्तति. As it is not possible to filter muddy water through mud, nor purify a wine-stained pot with wine, it is not possible to counteract the killing of men by sacrificing animals. Ashwamedha yajanas or Gomedha yajanas, or the sacrifices in which a horse or a bull is sacrificed, were not, of course, for the purpose of killing the animals. Lord Chaitanya said that such animals sacrificed on the altar of yajanas were regenerated and a new life was given to them. It was just to prove the efficacy of the hymn of the Vedas. By recitation of the hymns of the Vedas in the proper way, certainly the performer gets relief from the reactions of sins, But in case of such sacrifices not properly done under expert management, surely one has to become responsible for animal sacrifice. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there is no possibility of performing the yajanas perfectly for want of expert brahmanas who were able to conduct such yajanas. Maharaj Yudhishthir therefore gives a hint to performing sacrifices in the age of Kali. In the Kali Yuga, the only sacrifice recommended is the performance of Harinam Yajanas inaugurated by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But one should not indulge in animal killing and counteract it by performing the Harinam Yajanas. Those who are devotees of the Lord never kill an animal for self interest, and as the Lord ordered Arjuna, they do not refrain from performing the duty of a Kshatriya. The whole purpose is therefore served when everything is done for the will of the Lord. This is possible only for the devotees. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the first canto, 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved.